Hello everyone, this is Sensei Starman and welcome back to Let's Play Fallout London. Well, we are here in Westminster and just outside Westminster Abbey. And why are we just outside Westminster Abbey, you may ask? Well, for reasons that are really not worth contemplating. One of the Shakespeare plays we need is on the altar in Westminster Abbey. Why they don't have a Bible? Good question. They probably just figured, oh, well, it's an old book, and most of us can't read anyway.
Would you look at that? Lovely.
Actually, I take it back. It's not on the altar as such. It's on a display case at the back. And it has an overdue library book. Oh, there's a letter to the Reverend. Dear Reverend Chris Barker, our latest shipment was delayed, and so we will not be able to provide the necessary heart medication on schedule. However, we believe you need not worry, avoid any type of physical activity, and you should be fine. The chances of you having a sudden heart attack if you miss just one day of medication are near zero. But seriously, don't do anything stupid, Reverend. Stay in your home. If you have any appointments, cancel them. Don't die because you decide to walk all the way to Southwark or something idiotic like that. Yours truly, Dr. Sedondus Panagotis. Yep. We will take that copy of Cymbeline, and, yeah, the overdue book does make me chuckle a little bit. It reminds me of The Simpsons, where it gets revealed that Reverend Lovejoy has been borrowing his copy of the Bible from the Springfield Library every week for several years. But anyway, we will be spending most, if not the entirety, of this episode in Westminster, trying to do the 2 or 3 quests that start off here, or mostly take place here. But I thought we'd go ahead and start with that one. Now, the other one requires us to take a quick little walk around the corner to our favorite local pub.
I'm in touch with humanity.
As you might recall, we've done more than a few quests over here already, but this one, well, it was easily overlooked because with the mob of gentry standing around, you can miss the ghoul gentleman sitting in the back, most unobtrusively, not really standing out. The fact that I found the other quest here, which just involves talking to some random bloke in a pub, is a source of mild amusement to me, and I hope it amuses you a bit too. As yes, we walk past them, and then we talk to Charles McAndrew.
Just what the doctor ordered. I was just telling my friend how desperate I need for a young pair of legs to lend an old man a hand. Is today my lucky day?
Whatever it is, no, favors don't pay the bills, old man.
My friend, let me assure you, favors can bring fortune beyond vulgar wealth. However, since money is what you want, then it's providence, as I am a wealthy man.
Here's where the butt normally comes in.
How rude. Just what the doctor... I was just telling my friend. My friend, however...
Alright, what do you need?
The youth of these days, so jaded.
So accurate.
No catch. Just a brisk walk to a postal depot in Croydon to fetch a letter I posted a very long time ago. Not very exciting, I know, but I'd be ever so grateful. I'd go myself, but my hip is busted. So what do you say? Help out an old man?
Croydon, for those who forget, being the radioactive wasteland that looks like Mordor. You moved after the war?
Unlikely. A truly desolate place. Nihilistic wasteland shrine to nihilism. I dread to think of what it's like now.
I've seen what it likes now.
I've
It's even
only
worse.
moved once. Ironically, into the Chinese consulate building. Now, I've been a proud Westie my entire life.
Why would it be ironic to move into the Chinese consulate building?
Oh, well, it's actually rather simple. You'll just have to read my memoirs and find out.
Fine, what does this letter look like?
Excellent. It's a manila envelope, size of an A4, about the thickness of a framed photo of the Queen. Shouldn't be too hard to find.
Hard to find,
Let me know
no, but
when you've
hard
got
to
it,
get to.
and we'll discuss remuneration and expenses.
Okay, so now we have the quest Return to Sender.
It must be horrible to live in.
So now we have to get to the Croydon post office. But we're not going to do that one just yet. Because we do have 2 more quests to pick up. But I think we'll do the one that requires a quick bit of fast travel first, because the other one requires us to walk to a rather obscure point on the map. So we are going to take a quick jump over to the Royal Albert Hall. And we are going to bump into someone immediately outside the entrance who we did not bump into when I first went over there for some reason. Right, so we see 3 women in fancy dress and a man milling about.
Wait, wait! Please don't go just yet. I've been waiting for someone like you. I understand this might sound rather dramatic, but you are my only hope.
And we've now started the quest special performance. How am I your only hope?
Because you are the key to my future. My name is Alsop, Clive Alsop, and I'm a composer. I dabble in a genre many call classical music, though I prefer more accurate terms like poetic or profoundly life-changing. Ever since I was a child, I've dreamed of performing my compositions to those noble tastemakers at the BBM. As they say, if you can make it at the BBM, you can make it anywhere.
So why are you here at the hall?
Why, isn't it obvious? The Royal Albert Hall is the first step towards the BBM. You see, me and my orchestra, we came here in the hopes of spotting a BBM producer and handing them our tape. So far, we've been here for weeks and have had no such luck. But the time for action is nigh. The denouement, as it were. And once I saw you, I knew you were the perfect person for the job. Someone who can help us get into the BBM and gently force them to listen to our tape.
Have you tried not breaking into the BBM? I don't want to break in anywhere. That's illegal. I'm here to perform an unauthorized entry maneuver. And they didn't record that line for some reason.
Besides, The alternative is just to sit around and wait. And I think
Or
me
misfired.
and my orchestra have had enough of that. What the world needs now, more than anything, is great music. And I believe we can provide that.
What's in it for me?
How about the satisfaction in knowing you have become an integral part of British culture for generations to come?
Stare in silence.
I can also give you tickets.
That
Now,
works.
I've heard from reputable personal sources that the BBM is heavily guarded by robotic security. So let's try to keep all violence to a strictly non-human basis.
Okay, and everybody is going to start running with cricket bats. Towards the BBM.
Am I invisible? Or are you an invalid? Which is it?
God save our gracious queen. Long live our noble queen.
Yeah, I have not done the running action much. Or at all before now. Not that I think it changes things all that much, and yeah, the BBM is all the way here, so let's just fast travel. And they should be getting there just as we beam down. One thing, I will want to switch to a non-explosive weapon. Although I do have the radiated crew revolver, but... And yes, even though we will be fighting robots with swords, it's far too easy for Clive and his orchestra to get in the way. And the first time I tried doing this off camera, it just took one explosion for them all to turn on me and ruin the quest.
Say.
That is a darn good sword.
I wasn't privately educated for this. Forget it. Oh no. Whatever it is, keep it to yourself. Better that way.
This one looks like it fell down. It's just leaning against the wall,
We did it!
all depressed.
What did we do again? whoever you are. I'm Clive Alsop.
Well,
I'm a
Cammy has an
composer,
axe. Oh, wait.
and I want you all to listen
No, a
to
bat with
my
nails in
tape.
it. It looked like an axe, though.
Is that what this is about? A bloody demo tape? Good God.
It's more than just a demo tape. It's my future, miss. Who are you again?
Patel Rainer, station manager. I'm the one who turned off those robots before they ripped you apart. Do you know how long it'll take me to fix them?
I apologize, Miss Rayner, but you have to understand. I did this because I live for classical music.
You'll die for classical
Please
music
give
at
us
this
a
rate.
chance.
It's been so long since we've had any fans. Fine. Come inside. And stop hitting things.
So, in a
You're the
hurry,
South
am I
Someday.
invisible? Or
Am I
are you
invisible?
an invalid
Or are
depressed
you
enough to be
Which
a
is it?
composer?
Which
I'm
is
Clive
it?
Alsop, the mastermind behind this entire affair. Could I please speak to Mr. Fort Worth?
Before you get all hyper, mate, there's something you should know. Bradley Fort Worth, he doesn't really exist.
I beg your pardon?
Well, at least not like you and me. See the giant machine behind me? That's Bradley Fort Worth. He's a living, breathing computer. Always has been. We can't tell him what to play because he has a mind of his own. Heck, we don't even know how to turn him off. Lost the manual a couple years back.
So, does this mean all of this was for nothing?
Not exactly. I can still play your tape for him, but at the end of the day, he's the boss. I just push some buttons.
What a conundrum.
I love how Jack just sits down in the middle of this, not caring at all. Do you have a problem with computers?
My problem isn't to do with the revelation, and more to do with, well, you see, during our fight with the robots, I tried to perform a strategic maneuver, most commonly known as a rush attack. And while performing said maneuver, I slipped and fell right upon my side. Luckily, something in my pocket softened my fall. Unluckily, that something was the demo tape.
Please tell me you have a backup.
Not on me, no. Thankfully, I do know where we can find a copy of the tape. Months ago, I sent one to Empire Records in the hopes of obtaining a record deal. In fact, their complete lack of a response is what spurred me to come here to the BBM. I want you to go to their store in Lewisham and recover my tape. They never replied to my many letters requesting the tape be returned, so they've either gone out of business or they're ignoring me out of spite. Either way, the tape is there.
How do you feel about the BBM being led by a robot?
I'm not sure how I feel, other than blindsided. In retrospect, I should have known there was something strange going on in this hallowed institution. My family has been listening to Bradley for 3 generations. People don't live that long nowadays.
Well, apart from the ghouls, but... Can't you go to Empire Records yourself?
I would love to, but I'm afraid I need to stay here and make sure we don't get any flack for destroying half of the BBM's security system. I'm sure Miss Rayner will understand after I've properly explained my reasoning to her.
Good point. You stay here and distract the law.
Good luck.
I'll get out of town.
So
I'm
you're
thinking of
Alsop's little
composing a new
helper.
piece.
Funny,
The
you don't look
Wayfarer's
like the
Opera.
BBM kind. Our fans are much older and frailer.
Who are you?
Not a good listener, are you?
No.
Like I said, I'm Patel Rainer, station manager. One of the 5 current BBM employees. The other 4 are janitors. Don't need a lot of people when your boss is a computer.
A surprisingly timely commentary on AI taking everything over.
Upkeep, mostly. Fort Worth's in control of everything. I just make sure nobody bothers him. I spend most of my time fixing up our security robots or reading fan mail. Don't have much else to do. Beats my previous job. Used to be a mechanic at a junk shop in Eastminster. Here, I get to make my own hours and nobody bothers me. Most of the time.
Why haven't you arrested us for breaking in?
Why? You want to be arrested? I'm not doing it because it's a huge bother. Too much paperwork to fill.
Since when is Fort Worth a robot?
Since forever. Story goes that he was built before the bombs fell as a safeguard. Something to keep Britain informed during the apocalypse. They connected him to the country's early alarm system. Bradley actually went online 2 minutes before the bomb sirens rang out. Anyway, they built him to be obsessed with keeping Britain moving forward. Keep calm, carry on, all that shit.
How do you control Fort Worth?
We don't. He was built to operate on very little energy, and his chamber can survive a direct nuclear blast. Like I said, he's got a mind of his own. We can input news and tapes, but he chooses what to say and play. Greatest artificial mind ever built, and it spends 24 hours a day playing music for old codgers. Yeah, sure.
Alright. So now we have to go
I live in
to
fear knowing you people can reproduce.
the shop in Lewisham to find that tape. So we're getting a little bit of travel outside of Westminster for those two quests. But I mentioned that there's a third quest here that we have not done yet, and this is the one I didn't play through completely off camera yet because I had read conflicting reports that it was a angel only quest that you had to commit to their faction before it would open up, but it is listed among the side quests rather than faction quests in Act 3. The sticking point is that it doesn't become available until after you have opened up the pathway to choose a side in the conflict between Camelot, the Gentry, and the Fifth Column. And I think a lot of people haven't done this quest because the game crashes before you get to it. Well, thank goodness for autosave when you need a location, leave a location, eh? I almost said need a location, which I do need a location right now, but not this one. So what the heck, we'll go ahead and fast travel to as close to this quest start point as I can get to, because as I was about to say, I think a lot of people haven't done this one because the start point is not close to anything major. It's closest to the mall, but it's a fair bit of a way down the street and down an alley from it. So I think this one must have been stumbled across by somebody who's either meticulously walking through everything, hoping to trigger a quest, and we're waiting, and we're almost 25 minutes gone. I think I'm probably going to just have time to start this quest but not actually do anything with it. But that's not going to be too big of a deal, as you'll see. Right, okay, so we're at the mall and night is starting to fall. So we're going to have to run westward a little bit down the street. And you want to come to this intersection right here, just down from St. James Park and just south of St. James Palace on the intersection where the crash site and the path from the mall meet. And it is here
I do hope Father's proud of me.
that we'll see this guy named Bernie Prescott, who is going to approach us now that we get close, I think.
Fancy a poster? Support your party to victory in the polls?
Victory in the polls?
Of course. There's an election on. Didn't you know? Last PM died at the tournament, so there's been an upset in Parliament. I heard Freddie Newell tried to step in to take control. Of course, Parliament wasn't having it. Can't have a PM without an election first. It's just not done.
I now have the respectable option posters. I don't waste my time with such plebeian nonsense.
Oh, gracious, where are my manners? I didn't mean to be rude. Let me try again. Good afternoon. I am Bernie Prescott, campaigner in charge of elections for St. James Park. It is my humble duty to ensure a smooth and orderly election to replace the late Prime Minister since his tragic death at the tournament. Would you care to endorse a candidate?
I suspect I'll have to either way.
That's the spirit, sir. Your choices may not matter, but as long as we're all having fun with it, eh?
Who are the candidates?
Freddie Newell is the traditionalist leader. What he lacks in intelligence, he makes up for in... Anyway, Lynn Moores is the pragmatist candidate and current opposition leader. She's got a reformist mind. The rumors that she eats babies are just that, rumors. Charles Bailey is the Reformist Party leader, but between you and me, he's only in the running for his own ego.
Who should I endorse?
If you're asking my opinion, I shouldn't say it'd be a conflict of interest. But if it's between Newell and Moores, I'd say Newell. London's too much of a mess now to go and start changing things.
I agree, I disagree. I'm endorsing Charles Bailey.
So, you're endorsing Charles Bailey. Thank you for your contributions to our great democratic society. Now, if I could trouble you for one last favor?
Of course.
My election workers are putting up posters with your endorsement up around Westminster, but I'm afraid the Cavaliers are up to their usual antics. You must go and make sure they don't ruin democracy. That is to say, take down the posters so that nobody knows they have to vote. If you can ensure that at least 5 stay up, that should be enough.
Okay, so we've just started Election Night Special. And this mission just involves running around Westminster and fighting Cavalier mobs.
Immensely satisfying.
And there is one right down the street immediately from here. Now this is rather interesting because you'll note that one of the Cavaliers that spawned here is one of the invisible androids that we can't actually hit. But something fun I discovered. Mad Jack can hit them. And he can smash them pretty effectively. Refill your action points on a critical hit.
Make sure you check the back pockets.
Alright, well then I'm carrying too much and cannot run, but that's all this quest is to start off, is just running around taking down mobs of Cavaliers, which Jack and I can do with ease at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here, since we are hitting the half-hour mark. We will take out the Cavalier mobs off camera, and next time we'll either pick up in Lewisham or Croydon, so you don't have to sit through me doing the load time, getting out of Westminster, going to someplace else in London, getting inside the building in London, and so on and so forth. But thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment if you are so inclined. And we'll continue with the push to episode 200 next time. Take care until then.